What's up guys, I'm Newbie Dave and today we're building a tunnel. Let's get started. What's going on everybody? You want to hear a funny story? This is actually the second time I've had to record this episode. This was going to be my weekend update. And I did my recording, I did all my prep work, finished, and went to do the editing and discovered that my microphone was not properly configured, and so there was no dialogue. Even though sometimes I will do an episode with no dialogue, like I did last week, I do those episodes slightly differently. I don't just record and play the way I normally do, where I explain and talk through what I'm doing. I record them with the intention of having no dialogue. It wouldn't have worked to release this episode where I'm like pointing at things and, tapping on things and just kind of standing around for a little while explaining things when there's no explanation of what's going on. So I had to scrap it. I had to reload a backup and re-record this whole episode. I don't know why I felt the need to explain all that to you, other than that is why there was no weekend update, because my weekend update just completely miserably failed on me. But here we are today, and what I want to do is spend a little bit of time above ground. We've been spending a lot of time underground in that awesome cave system under our new base. But I want to come back up to the surface because I have been using this giant gliding platform that we built a few weeks ago to get back and forth to my old base very quickly to go out and do some exploring. And every time I come through here, I'm just like, this tunnel is kind of depressing. It's just stone with some torches on the wall. It's 2 blocks tall. I don't like it, and it kind of upsets me every time I have to come through here, especially since there wasn't really a good way to get to it. That birch tree that I just cut down made it really difficult to get to it from the path over here. I was usually having to go like around and under things. And yeah, I need to fix this. I need to improve this and make it look a lot better. So that is what I want to do today. So I guess technically we have a tunnel dug already, but today we are going to be improving it and making it an actual nice feature that is part of our base. So the first thing I want to do is actually connect it to the rest of our base. I want to put in a little path right here to make it a little bit nicer to get over to this new tunnel system. And so I'm going to put in some little spruce slabs here or there like I did over here. And we'll kind of, let me see, I'm going to put that one back. I don't want to have just a straight path that goes straight from this tunnel directly over to the path right in front of it. I want it to kind of curve down this way a little bit. And so I think to accomplish this, I'm actually going to need some grass. Let me go get a couple more grass blocks to sort of fill in that area a little bit. Yeah, because kind of like I did with the path that I just built in my underground cave, I like for there to be grass surrounding, even if not surrounding, but at least on one side of the little slabs that I put in here for steps. Now I'm going to come in and put some path blocks, and because this is not a main path, like this over here, this is a main path. It goes from this nice structure back to our central storage area. This is just going to be like a little side path that kind of shoots off of that. And so I'm going to do some path blocks, but I want it to feel a little bit more ad hoc and not as clean as the other path. This snow, I like the snow in this mountain, but it's like 10 blocks of snow surrounded by dirt. I'm just going to replace all that with grass. We'll leave some of the snow on the mountain, but I want there to be grass all along this path here. So there we've got a couple of path blocks. I'm now going to come in with some coarse dirt and lay some of this down as well. And this I think will help add to the effect that this is just sort of a worn or not really well maintained path like the main one leading through our base. So yeah, I really like using coarse dirt for paths like this. I did this a lot in my season 1 base, and then in season 2 I just kind of went whole hog on the path blocks, but I'm starting to bring back some of the coarse dirt for these sort of miniature paths like this. Now for the rest of this, let me go ahead and set up a little mini base where we can work and get all my stuff out. And oh yeah, I forgot. There's one last thing I need for this little path here. I need to put in some lighting because I like having lighting on my paths. And so we're going to do my little signature cobblestone walls with a lantern on top. I think I'll do one kind of right here. and then maybe one more at the top, like right here. So not crazy with the lighting, just sort of something to draw your eye as you're coming up this path and say, oh look, there's something that goes off this way. Now we can come over to our tunnel and start working on this thing. So what I want to do for this tunnel is I want it to be 3 blocks wide and 4 blocks tall. So let me kind of carve this out right here around the entrance really quick. So this is what I want for the whole tunnel leading from the entrance to the back by the water. I'm going to leave the entrance just 1 block. I kind of like having this just be a little hole in the side of the mountain that once you go through, oh look, you're in this nice pretty tunnel. So I'm just going to have the 1 block wide entrance, but then it's going to be 3 by 4. However, I'm going to put in some floors and walls and ceiling. So I actually need to remove 1 more layer. I'm actually not going to remove a layer for the ceiling. You'll see what I'm going to do with that later. But I'm going to go back 1 more block on the sides and 1 block down on the bottom so that we can put in some floors and walls. So let me get this whole area dug out, and it's actually going to end up being, I guess, 5 by 5, and we'll be filling in a lot of that. Now back here where my bubble column is, I'm going to leave some of these blocks for now, because if I take out these blocks that have the buttons on them, or this block right here, water is just going to gush into this cave. And so I'm going to wait to remove those until I actually get to this part of the cave with the walls and floor and everything. Now, when I did my cave exploration episode last week, I passed up a ton of ore down in the cave. I really only went out of my way for diamonds, but there's a lot of coal in here, so I'm going to go ahead and take that because coal is still a very valuable resource. I don't use it for smelting so much. I tend to prefer the dried kelp blocks for smelting, but it's very useful for making campfires, for making torches, for other things that aren't smelting that require coal or charcoal. So yeah, any coal that I find in here, I'm definitely going to dig that stuff out. So here we go, got this whole area dug out. The bottom, the ground may look a little bit weird because I didn't end up getting this bottom row, but that's because our floor is going to be these 3 blocks. Our wall is going to be from here up. And so you're never actually going to see these blocks. I didn't need to dig those out because they're not going to be part of the area that you see. Now, for the bottom, for the floor, I'm going to do something that I wouldn't say I've never done because I have done it before, but it is not typical for me. I'm going to use some jungle wood, more specifically some jungle planks. As I've said many times now in this series, I am trying to be a little bit more adventurous with my build palettes and do things that I don't always do. Like I love using the stone bricks. I love the deep slate, black stone, spruce. Those are all very common, very safe build palettes. And so I'm trying to be a little bit more adventurous and do things that I haven't done a whole lot already. Jungle wood is definitely one of those things. I've only used it in 1 build before, and I actually really liked it. And as I was looking at what to do with this build, what I want to do with this cave is I kind of want to play off the fact that this is dug into a mountain, that it's surrounded by dirt and stone. And I think the jungle wood as a floor, it really looks very earthy. I mean, look at this next to the dirt. It's almost the exact same color. It's very similar in texture. And so I think it has that nice earthy tone to it. So yeah, I actually really like the way that this, the jungle planks, the jungle wood looks in this sort of cave build. And it's actually kind of got me rethinking using jungle wood. I might start using this, incorporating it into more builds. I think it's actually a very pretty wood, at least from the top. Now for the walls, I'm gonna go back to the tried and true safe, I know how to use this material of spruce logs, or spruce wood planks, yeah, spruce planks. So we're gonna do spruce on the bottom. And one thing that I want to do really quickly is, as I mentioned, I want to play off the fact that this is, oh, hello, there's like a little cavern that goes down there. Got to be careful. I want to play off the fact that this is built into a mountain. And so let me actually, I'm going to bring this part out a little bit more towards the entrance and replace some of this with dirt. Kind of like that, because I want it to look like, I want there to be a sort of natural meld from the outside dirt and stone and snow and everything to this inside carved out structure. And so that's why I'm leaving some of the dirt in the ground. I'm leaving some of the dirt in the walls even, kind of like this. Yeah, I like that. I like it a lot. So I think this is going to look really, really nice, leaving some of that. I am going to go ahead and remove the stone. I don't think the stone blends really well with what I'm going for here, but I'll leave some of the dirt. So yeah, for the walls, I'm just going to do spruce planks, and I'm going to do this from floor to almost ceiling. I'll show you what I'm going to do when I get up to the ceiling. So we did 3 rows of the spruce planks. Now for the 4th row, I'm actually going to do spruce logs, and I'm going to do all of these facing the same direction like this, and then I'm going to come back, not break them, I'm going to come back and strip them. I think this is going to look really nice to create a darker toned border around the top of these walls. Just like that. Yeah, that's looking really, really nice. These torches obviously are just temporary. I don't plan on leaving torches on the floor going down this thing. But the real lighting is going to be in the ceiling. So until we get there, I'm just going to leave the torches on the floor. So let me do the other side. We'll do 3 rows of spruce planks and then the stripped spruce logs along the top. Now the reason I ended up going back to the spruce for the walls instead of doing jungle or some other wood, I've mentioned this many, many times. You kind of want your floor and walls to be different. You don't want them to always be the same material. It helps them to really stand out a lot better. And because the jungle wood is a little bit of a lighter wood, not quite as light as the birch, but it is lighter than spruce, and I think maybe a little bit lighter than oak even, then I wanted to go with something a little bit darker for the walls. And I think having the spruce, since I've got spruce in my blacksmith forge over there to the left, if I can see it. Yeah, I've got spruce over there. I've got spruce in my storage room over there. This will just help kind of tie it into the rest of the base. Now over here on the back wall, I'm going to do, let me see, do I want to do, yeah, we need a row in front of the water to hold the water in. So I'm going to go ahead and do spruce planks in front of it. And now we're just gonna have to go ahead and break this. Maybe if we're quick, we can stop the water from escaping. Probably not, because I'm gonna have to actually pick up these buttons and replace the buttons to keep the water in. That's fine. And the same thing, we'll do the spruce logs on top. We'll break that and put a spruce log in there, and we'll strip all of that. There. Now, what are we going to do for the ceiling? I mentioned that I want this to be 4 rows tall, but I didn't actually dig out a 5th row for the ceiling to put materials in there. That's because I'm going to do something very similar to what I did with the entrance to my underground cave back there, where I had the piston door and there was a piece of glowstone that was part of the door. Get out of here, spider. And it just got retracted up into the ceiling, and to help avoid it standing out as there's just a piece of glowstone sticking out of the ceiling, I did some slabs along the ceiling and just sort of buried the glowstone into the slabs. I'm going to do the same sort of thing in here. I really like the way that looked, and yeah, I want to do it again. So this time I'm going to use some sea lanterns. And what we're going to do is we're going to put some, let me fill that in with dirt. Yeah, I want a little bit more dirt on the ceiling. And then we'll do just some top slabs out of spruce like this. And then every so often, I probably want to measure this out so that it's even. So I moved my torches just a little bit so that they're all spaced out 5 blocks. So I think that should be good for sea lanterns. So I'm going to put these sea lanterns right above where the torches are, and then we'll surround them with these spruce planks. Yeah, see how good that looks? I really like that lighting style. I think I've stumbled upon something nice here. I say that as if I'm the first person in the history of Minecraft to do this for lighting. So yeah, let me put in all these sea lanterns first, and then we will come back and surround it with these spruce logs. No, not spruce logs, spruce slabs. And because these are slabs, you still see half the block next to it. And that's why I've got this, the stripped spruce logs. I'm getting tongue-tied here. The stripped spruce logs around the top it creates a really nice border at the very top of these walls. That looks really, really good. I like that. So now we can come in and break all these torches, and we'll just have the sea lanterns for lighting. Nice, I like that. I really, really like that. It is a little bit dark in here because the lighting is kind of spread out, but I'm okay with that. It sort of lends itself to being this underground dugout tunnel inside of a mountain. I think I will go ahead and put some torches down at the end because the very end of this was kind of dark, but the rest of the lighting and the shadows in here I think looks really good. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because they're slabs or the lighting or what, but the spruce planks that we put in the ceiling they look a little bit darker than this, or the slabs in the ceiling look darker than the planks on the wall, even though it's all spruce. And I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because just like you kind of want your floor and walls to be different materials, you kind of want your walls and ceiling to be different materials as well when you can. And so this looks really, really good so far. Now, as for the outside of this, I'm just going to leave it. I'm not going to do any sort of archway or anything. I want the outside of this to look like it's just a hole in the mountain that you go inside of, and now you're in this nice, well-lit tunnel. But as you can see, the mountain is sort of encroaching on the tunnel. I really like that. So there's one more thing that I'm going to do for this build, and we need to bring our chest down here. If this is just a long, straight tunnel, it would be kind of boring, and you'd go from one end to the other and be like, what was the point of that? Why wasn't that water a little bit closer? So I want to put something in here that makes it look like maybe it's a little sort of rest area, or maybe whoever built this was like their original base or something, and like maybe that's it. Maybe this was like someone's original base that they dug down here and survived for a long time, and then they died or moved on, and you were moved into this area and you're sort of digging out and exploring, and you break through and you're like, oh, what is this cool place? So I want to put a room down here towards the end. I'm thinking like centered with this light source right here. And this is going to be 5 blocks wide. And so let me remove some of these planks, but I'm going to leave the spruce in the top of the wall. That's going to create a little sort of, not really barrier, but sort of transition between the hallway and this little space that we're going to dig out. And then I'm going to go back, I'm thinking maybe 7 blocks is probably good. There we go. You know, I think that's a good depth. I think it's a little bit wide. So rather than digging out another row for the walls and putting in the walls where this stone currently is, I think I'm just going to put in the walls here, and maybe I'll even do some spruce right here to create sort of a door frame for this area. How's that going to look? Yeah, I think that works. You know what? I'm going to do it here. I'm going to do it across the threshold as well, just to sort of visually separate this from the hallway. Yeah, that looks really good as you're coming down to it, and then you turn, and here's this little living quarters area. So for the floor, I'm just going to do the same thing. We'll put in some jungle planks here for the floor. Then for the walls, I'm going to do something a little bit different. So I am going to do some spruce along the bottom, but then for the middle of the walls, again, trying to be a little bit more adventurous with my build palettes here, I'm going to use some yellow concrete. As I was designing this, I thought that yellow terracotta would look really, really nice. I think it looks better than the concrete. The concrete is kind of bright, but I don't have any terracotta, so I'm just gonna have to go with concrete. But I want this room to be colorful. I want it to be lively. It's going to be a sort of living space, and so I want more color in here, which is why I'm gonna go with the yellow. And then we'll do the same thing with the spruce along the top. We'll put in some spruce logs, and then we'll strip it just like that. Nice. This is looking really, really good. Now for this back wall, I've got something planned for this back wall. First, let me go ahead and put in some planks right there. We'll put in our spruce along the top, looking good. We'll strip that. But then what I want to do here is I'm going to put in an aquarium. So I'm going to get some cyan wool. We're going to get some glass. I've got some other decorations here, and I'm going to light it with sea pickles. So I've got some coral and some sea pickles because these are my only 3 sea pickles. So I'm going to bone meal these so that I don't use up all my sea pickles. But first we need to go get some water because I need to build a little infinite water source in there to fill the aquarium with, so I'm not going back and forth to the outside of my base. So I think I'm just going to temporarily dig up 4 of these blocks in the floor, and we'll put in a little infinite water source here that we can work with. So what I'm going to do for this aquarium, I'm going to go back, let's see, 1, 2, like that. And then all of this remaining stone that you can see, I'm going to replace with cyan wool. Actually, no, on the bottom, I'm going to put in some dirt. So yeah, we'll put some dirt in along the bottom, and then we'll do the cyan wool for the walls. You could use cyan concrete or some other bluish green material. What I like about the wool is it's not quite flat. Like you look at the concrete, it's a very flat, solid color. But the wool has sort of a soft texture to it, which I think is going to help add to the illusion that there's like waves or the water's moving within this aquarium. So yeah, that's looking good. Now we will put in some cobblestone slabs. I'm going to do 2 in the corner like that, and then 2 in front like this. We need to put in some glass for the front of this, but we can't close it off yet because we still got to get in here to fill it up with water. So let me make 2 buttons really fast, and we'll just put those buttons there. Now we can start to fill this thing with water. So we'll get some water sources and start dumping it in here. I'll just start in the back and work our way forward until this whole thing fills in with water. Like so. Now for the lighting. Like I said, I'm going to use sea pickles, but since I've only got 3, I need to bone meal these, so I've got a few more and I'm not using all of my sea pickles. So to bone meal sea pickles, it has to be done on coral, I believe. So I'm going to put a block of coral in the water, we'll put a sea pickle on there, and yeah, there we go. So we just bone meal it, we get 4 sea pickles every time, it looks like. Nice. I'll just do this a couple times, and yeah, that should be good for now. So I'm going to do, let's see, 1, 2, 3. The more sea pickles you add, the more lighting you'll get. I don't want it to be super bright, I just want there to be some lighting in there, so we'll stop there. And then I'm just going to bone meal the rest of that so we get a little bit of vegetation inside. So there's our nice done aquarium, except for one thing, there's no fish in our aquarium. So let me very quickly replace all of this. We don't need our water source anymore. So let me fill this in, and I will put the jungle wood plank floor back in. And now we need to go get some fish. So I did a little bit of exploring before this episode, and I found a warm ocean or lukewarm ocean, or I can't visually tell them apart. I just know that tropical fish spawn in some sort of warm ocean biome. Found one to the north a little ways and brought back some tropical fish with me. Look at these bad boys. They are beautiful. I love the tropical fish in this game. So let me scoop these guys up. I think there's something like 2,000 or 2,700 variety of tropical fish in this game. It is truly amazing. Although, not to take away from that, but it seems like there's like 8 or 10 base models and then just like different size or pattern variations. But still, that's a ton of tropical fish. So we'll put these guys in here. Uh-oh, hello, don't do that. Don't do that. Wow, okay, was not expecting that. Maybe I need to be a little careful here. And then we'll hopefully seal this off before they jump out to their deaths. There we go. There, look at that. Look at that beautiful little aquarium with the live fish swimming around and the sea pickles and the whatever those things are, the coral fans, I think. I just heard some zombies. Nice. Okay, now we can finish the rest of this. So we'll start with the ceiling. I'm going to do the same thing for the ceiling. We'll just do some top slabs, except I'm not going to put a sea lantern in there. I want the lighting in here to be a little bit more mellow. This actually, now that I've got it filled in, it does feel a little bit narrow. I kind of wish I had left it the 5 blocks. Let me put in the decorations and I'll see how I feel about it after that. So for decorations, we're going to put some of this stuff in here. So let me start with, I'm going to do like a sort of a counter or desk in the back by the aquarium. Maybe we'll even do like a chair. So let me see. I'll do that there and then like a trap door next to it. Let's see, we'll do trap door, we'll do sign, not there. We need to do it on the slab like that. Perfect. And that's nice. Yeah, I love that design for the chair. I don't know where I first saw that, but it's really clever. And then for the lighting, I'm thinking just maybe a single lantern on the desk back here will be enough. Maybe we'll do some more on the bookshelves because I want to put some bookshelves like here. So yeah, we'll put a lantern. No, actually I think that's too much. I think the 1 lantern will be enough. And then maybe a few more bookshelves there. Well, no, because now that hides the lantern. Yeah, I'm thinking this needs to be 5 blocks wide. Let me quickly make that adjustment. It really just means pushing these 2 walls back by 1 row, so that's not too much work. There we go. I think that works. I think what was bothering me was the opening was so wide. And so I left the opening 3 blocks wide, framed with the stripped spruce logs, but then you step in and it's a little bit wider inside. I think that's much, much better. Now we've got some room to put some bookshelves in here. I think I'm gonna do like 2 there, 2 there. We'll do 1 in the corner here. We can put a lantern on there. Yeah, now this is starting to come together. And in the middle, I'm gonna go ahead and put a bed in there. Because again, I want this to look like it was somebody's home. Like maybe stumbled upon this and this is where like the original inhabitants of this area lived for a while. So we'll throw in a bed back there. And this is looking really, really good. Last thing I want to do in here for some aesthetics is we're gonna do a painting over here. And I like to block off where the painting is gonna go to force it to be the size that we want. So I think maybe, I'm thinking 2x3, is that, or are there 2x3 paintings? Maybe not. Here, okay, that's too big, that's 2x4. Okay, I don't think there are 2x3 paintings, so maybe we'll just do 2x2. You know what, I think we'll do that. I think we'll do the wither. Now, how does this area look? I'm thinking it looks pretty good. You know, one last thing I'm going to throw in here. I have such a hard time walking away from builds like this because I just want to keep adding more stuff. I'm going to throw a chest in there because if this was someone's home, they had to store their stuff somewhere. Let me move this lantern so it's not directly in front of the aquarium. You'll notice I left the aquarium the original size. That wasn't out of laziness. I didn't want to just not expand it. I think with the longer room, with the wider room, having it framed on either side by just the regular wall material looks really good. I really like this. I really like this room. I like the way it's decorated. I like the colors. I like the vibrancy. It looks really, really good. All right, one last thing that I want to do to try to break up the monotony of these walls, since they're so long and flat and boring, is I'm thinking here and there, maybe in between some of these lights, I'm going to replace some of these planks with some stairs. Let's do upside down, just to create a little bit of a pattern, a little bit of a texture to the wall right here. And I'm not going to do it all the way down. I don't want a stripe going all the way down this hallway. I just want something to sort of accent. Maybe we'll even skip those and just do it here. Again, not crazy. I don't want this to be like, this is how this area is decorated. I just want something to throw off the monotony of the flat, plain surfaces. So there we go. So let's take a step out. Here's our nice mountain base area with zombies infesting it. So we come up this path and oh look, there's a little path that goes off to the side here. And it looks like there's a little entrance to this mountain. I wonder what's in there. Oh wow, look at this nice little tunnel that somebody dug out here a long, long time ago. Definitely not just today. This looks like it's been here a while. And we come down to the end and wow, look at this. This must have been where they lived. And they've got a bed, they've got some storage. This looks really nice. Whoever built this certainly had an eye for detail. Kudos to them. Okay, that's enough. So yeah, I think this is a serious upgrade to the simple 1 block wide, 2 block tall tunnel of stone with torches sticking out of the walls that was originally here. This looks much nicer. This makes me want to come through here, even if I don't need to. And this is also a really good place to do the outro. Thank you all so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this episode. If so, please hit that like button, and while you're down there, feel free to subscribe so you'll get notified of future episodes as they come out. Thanks y'all, and have a great day.